Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sunday Night is Organ Music Night, here live from the console, live from the organ room, and slightly late due to, as usual, PC problems. And yes, the new PC is sitting. Actually, Vanessa, maybe at some point this evening you could take the box in here so we could show people. Ja, wir können das vielleicht aufmachen. Wir können ein Unboxing live machen. The new PC has been sitting there since Monday. Sitting there. 2 boxes, a case, and then all the bits to go in the case. And I have had so many other things to do this week. It's been a very busy, very stressful week. And I haven't actually even opened the box to look at what's inside. That's how disciplined I've tried to be this week, which is absolutely amazing. But I really need to get round to doing it because this thing knows its days are numbered and it's really causing problems. It took me 30 minutes to load the organ of Alessandria this evening. Now that's just crazy. That's unheard of. On Friday night, it took a long time to get this up and running. And tonight, 30 minutes just to load the organ. Normally that happens in 30 seconds. So 30 minutes. So something is going amiss. Something's happening. It's holding out, and we hope it's holding out until tonight. But by Friday, by next Friday, I hope to have the new machine up and ready. And of course, I'm taking you on the journey with me. So I'm going to be putting it all together and taking you on my journey with it. I haven't been a Windows man for about 20 odd years. So moving away from the world of Mac, back to the world of Windows and starting from scratch. Oh my God. This is going to be quite a terrifying experience, which is actually why I'm taking you along on it with me, because as I put everything together and get everything installed and everything set up and things, I know I'm going to come across problems. I just know, because that's just the way computers work. I'm going to come across problems. So I'm going to be posting everything, so I hope you will be able to help me out along the way. And that's my hope. Fingers crossed for that. So, yes, now, I shouldn't have done that, because yesterday, I've no idea what I did. I don't even know what the English word is. I don't know what I did. I banged my finger on something. This was during the service last night in church. And my middle finger from the tip right to the middle there, the entire sort of, I'm here, Alexander, this is your Gebiet, isn't it? I think sort of the tendon is inflamed or something. Oh my God. Agony. I played the organ this morning. I had a church service this morning with one of my choirs, and it was absolute agony playing the piano and the organ in church. And it's not really much better now. It's getting there. It's not inflamed to look at. Actually, it is a bit thick, actually. It's a bit fat. Yes, it is. Ow. And it hurts like hell. So if there are any sort of strange bum notes and you see my finger sticking, then you know why. There's something wrong. Anyway, there you are. Enough moaning about things. We are a positive group and we love being positive and having positive news and positive things. So tonight is going to be an evening of positivity all around the world. Positivity on the positive. Oh yes, good jokes there, eh? Anyway, so we started off this evening not with the Elton John. Someone thought that was Elton John, which I thought was rather cool. That was actually a hymn from the German hymn book. Yeah. I did, however, jazz it up a little bit. Herr, du bist mein Leben. Herr, du bist mein Weg. Du bist meine Wahrheit, die mich leben lässt. So in other words, Lord, you are my life. Lord, you are my way. You are my truth that lets me live. And I'm going to take those words and I'm going to translate them for Vanessa. And I'm going to say, Vanessa, you are my life. Vanessa, you are my way. You are my truth, and you let me live. Yes. Vanessa is just the most wonderful person in the world. We all know that, but I must say it from time to time and keep reminding the world that she really is the perfect person. She's been very shy in the background. So there will be more of that later on. Now we've had a number of requests for this evening, and some of them are rather crazy, and some of them are rather good fun. Here's one of them. Now this is something I've never played on the channel before, and it's quite useful because I have the music here. Mendelssohn, Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy. Somebody requested a piece of music by Mendelssohn. I've never played anything by Mendelssohn on the channel before, and it's been years since I've actually played anything by Mendelssohn in public. So I've chosen something easy by Mendelssohn that I can sight read, and this is the second movement of his fourth organ symphony. It's called Andante Religioso. This is the sonata in B flat major, which you obviously all know, and it's rather nice. It's rather delicious. It's the one that starts off with lots of semiquavers, all that kind of stuff, yeah? And then it goes crazy. But the second movement is a lot slower and definitely, hopefully, sight readable. So, you know who you are. Thank you for requesting Mendelssohn. I hope you like it. It's trickier than it looks, even though it appears to be quite simple stuff. There you are, a little bit of Mendelssohn sight reading for you. So, there'll be more sight reading of German composers later this evening. So yes, get ready for that. Now, there's going to be a very great mix of music tonight. We've got some jazzy stuff, we've got some lovey-dovey stuff, we've got some classical stuff, we've got some churchy stuff, we've got everything. We've got all sorts of goodies, and some people have been requesting hymns. After our Friday night, on Friday night we played a lot of hymns, some rather wonderful stuff, and some people have been requesting some more, and this one was requested. Now, it's not really, for me, this is kind of like an Advent hymn, but it's an absolute corker from the old English hymnal, and you can really, really, really have fun with it. The melody is called Picardy. I'm sure you will recognize it. Oh, and by the way, I'm not playing it as written. I'm playing sort of improvisations around it, and then I will launch into it, okay? The usual kind of thing. Haha, Picardy, let all mortal flesh keep silence. Very, very fancy old stuff. Lots of six-winged seraphs and cherubim with sleepless eye. So yes, lots of exciting, fantastical things in that one. And a wonderful melody. I think it's one of the loveliest, snarliest melodies out there is. I see a refreshing beverage has been taken. Thank you very much indeed. That's very kind. We rushed upstairs this evening to get everything ready and forgot a tasty beverage. Cheers. I got to keep drinking. I see Daniel Heinrich is with us this evening. Daniel Heinrich is a friend of the channel, and Daniel Heinrich sent us... Yeah, and Daniel Heinrich sent us not only a piece of music, he sent us a piece of music he himself composed. Words and music, Daniel Heinrich. Oh, and for some bizarre reason, the printer has cut off the title. It's Jesus spricht. Jesus says. Jesus tells. Jesus tells us. And this is a sort of modern, funky hymn that Daniel Heinrich has written. Now, Daniel Heinrich is a friend of the channels from up near Münster, or I think in Münster. Daniel Heinrich is in Münster, yeah? No? Yeah. Daniel Heinrich is in Münster. Fascinating musician, a wonderful life story. He sent us a book, which is basically his biography. It's absolutely wonderful. A fascinating chap. Absolutely wonderful. And yeah, I didn't know he wrote his own music, and this is rather exciting indeed. So I printed this out like 10 minutes. He only sent it 10 minutes before we started this evening. So it's very spontaneous, and it looks lovely and modern. And even in the first bar, there are chords that I absolutely love. Listen to this. Yeah, that's my kind of music already, and I haven't even read through it yet. So this is kind of exciting. So Daniel, thank you very much for sending this to us. I hope you enjoy listening to this performance. My goodness, I hope I do it justice for you. So let's see what we can find. Tempo not too fast. I like the idea not too fast. That makes it easier to sight read. So this then is a piece of music by one of the Gartshore gang out there, Daniel Heinrich. Yes, and he's in the chat live tonight. Here we go. Münster, Lüneburger Heide. There you go. See, I knew it was somewhere near Münster. Perfect. I love it. I love it. Beautiful. Lovely. Daniel, thank you. Wonderful. That is really lovely. I'm going to, if I may, I'm going to take that and actually I'm going to give that to my congregation, I think, because I think that's rather wonderful. Yes. Has that been published anywhere, Daniel? Do let us know. Wonderful. Yeah, sorry there. At the end there, the organ decided to start clipping. Oh my goodness. We need to be careful. Now, something I rather love about that, let me talk to you about the wonderful world of music. I had, this afternoon, I had 2 online students around the world, and we were talking, oh, we didn't do a cha-cha-cha at the end, you're right, Marek, sorry, we didn't do it. Let me do a cha-cha-cha. Ow! Oh, that hurt like hell. Oh, I'd snapped my fingers at my... Oh. Alexander, was hab ich? Hier, du bist doch Chirurg für sowas. Was habe ich denn da? Ich habe meinen Finger geprellt und oh mein Gott, von der Spitze bis hierhin. Oh, tut das sau weh. Oh, was habe ich denn gemacht? Sehne und... Oh, keine Ahnung, irgendwas habe ich gemacht. Oh God, that really hurt. Ah. All right, if you're going to snap your fingers tonight, you do it for me. I'm not doing it. I didn't even think about that. Ah. Yes, that was not very nice. Cha-cha-cha. One hand, left hand only. Yeah, and we were talking with this student this afternoon, one of my students this afternoon, we were talking about sort of, different kinds of music, the way you would sort of, way you sort of put things together and make all these things work. And for example, there's a lovely melody that Daniel's got here. And that's not what you expect. You don't expect that. That's a very sudden turn of events. What you'd expect is... That's what you would normally expect it, but he's taken it further. He's taken it... Oh, yes. And then we do the same thing a little higher. Yeah. And then we do a beautiful... So we go even higher. And then take it back down to the middle again. So we've got some low notes, some high notes, and we're moving around those. But more importantly, he's taken care to ensure that the bass line yes, the bass line has done what it's supposed to do. Brilliant. And then in the middle, there's again that element of surprise. So the middle bit starts off. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Nice. Doesn't do anything too exciting. It's just sort of there, reminding us where we are. And then we sort of do a little sort of modulation. Ba, da, 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 dee, dee. That would be where most people would take that. Daniel's taken it a step further. He's taken it here. Ba, 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 da, 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 dee, dee. Ha 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 ha. And now he's going to continue taking us through the circle of fifths. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautifully written. Daniel, das ist eine fantastische Komposition. Wirklich. Also, Hammer. Alles da. Ich hoffe, du hast alles verstanden, was ich jetzt auf Englisch gesagt habe dazu natürlich. Aber ich bin wirklich begeistert. Super Komposition. Toll. Sehr gut. Ich wette, ein paar Leute werden einen Ohrwurm davon haben, die Tage. Auch ich. Okay, so. What are we going to do now? I think we're going to get rid of that, actually. And I think we're going to... Oh, I know what we're going to do. This is a fun piece of music. And this is a handwritten arrangement that I came across the other day. Now, I don't know if the arranger is going to be watching us this evening, but it would be damn good fun if he is. Many, many, many years ago, in the early 90s, when I was a student at Edinburgh University, I lived in a flat together with a couple of other music students and another hilariously eccentric guy. And we were just typical students, yeah, doing what students do. And no, not that. We were very shy in those days. Very shy in those days. But one of my student friends flatmates was a very wonderful guy called James, no more than that. And James and I are still very close to this day. One of my few friends out there in the world, actually. And James and I, we do still keep in touch. And one of James's old school friends used to come and visit. Now, from those days, I'm not sure how much I can say here. What's that? There's a beast flying around here. I'm not sure how much I can and should say, but let's say this guy, his name was Roger. Or is Roger, he's still around obviously. And Roger for a while worked for one of the most hilariously embarrassing companies that the British Isles ever suffered. We are of course talking of the Dark Lord of British electronics, Lucas. And if you ever had a car back in the 80s and 90s and the electronics were crap, chances are they were by Lucas. And Roger tried to improve things at Lucas and eventually gave up and moved on to better things. And Roger is now a very talented guy doing his own thing. Very, very talented in the audio world, I might add. But Roger is also a rather hilarious guy when it comes to doing things like arranging pieces of music. And in the early 90s, Roger took this arrangement, and this is actually the original arrangement. He gave it to his friend James, according to the arrangement, in 1987. It says here, July 1987. And I still have the original stuff here. And I found this the other day, and I thought, I absolutely have to play this. I don't think I've actually ever played this exact arrangement myself before. But it's in Roger's handwriting. And it's an arrangement of Gesundheit. It's an arrangement of the Teddy Bear's Picnic. Ooh. How are we going to do it? I think we need to register this. Oh, we can get away with it, can't we? Yeah, we can definitely faff about this. Let's see what we can do. Gesundheit. Hay fever season here in Germany, and someone is suffering more than others. Oh boy, poor you. Roger's arrangement of the Teddy Bear's Picnic. Isn't that cute? Sorry about the registration. That should really be played on a theatre organ, I suppose, and bouncing along. And there's something there that we developed back in the days. And in our flat in Edinburgh, we had a piano in the living room. We had an enormous flat. I have no idea how we did it. We had an enormous flat, and it cost next to nothing. Right in the middle of the city centre in Edinburgh. It belonged to some frightfully posh old family. And they let us have it for a song. And there was a piano in the living room. We had a living room. We called it the parlour because we were posh. And we had all sorts of fun and games. And when Roger came to visit, we had, James dug out this and we sort of sat and played it in a four hands version. And that sort of stuff. All that sort of stuff where you're playing melodies and chords all in one hand. And James was rather liberal in his accuracy on those things, and we just described it as spatula technique. You just sort of hit like a spatula, and it sort of works.
Kann ich die Noten nach Alexander schicken?
Bitte?
Kann ich die Noten nach Alexander schicken?
Das können wir bestimmt machen. Exciting stuff. Very good fun indeed. Thank you, Roger. I still find that. So I must let James know that I still have that, because James is the kind of person that's probably looking for that, and probably has been looking for that for the past 30 years. So if James happens to be watching, I do apologise. I have it, but it's here and it's still in perfectly original condition. Only the sellotape has fallen off. That's it. So there we are. The Teddy Bear's Picnic, arranged for organ by Roger. Ooh. Roger, if you're listening in, hello. Right. Is that a request open here?
Yes, 144, aber muss halt umblättern, ne?
Oh no. The Little Books of Gorgeous Music. Now, all of you now know our channel friend and generous sponsor and just general wonderful guy, Gleiswanderer. And Gleiswanderer sent me, like I told you before, sent me the hymn books belonging to the Jehovah's Witnesses, which is, a lot of people might say, oh, what's so special about that? Well, the hymns that these guys and girls have, it's just amazing. Now, interestingly enough, here's a little anecdote, lots of anecdotes tonight. I was out walking the dog yesterday. Saturday lunchtime. I was out for a walk with the dog, and coming past a garden in the village, one of the guys in the village was out in his garden doing a spot of gardening, as you would do on a sunny Saturday at this time of year. And we got chatting, and he has a dog as well, but his dog was inside because, I don't know, whatever. So my dog couldn't see his dog. Anyway, so we started chatting away, and eventually we got onto the subject, so what do you do for a living kind of thing? So I said, well, I'm a musician, predominantly an organist. And he sort of looked at me and said, oh, okay, so you like church music? I said, I love church music. And he said, well, do you know the music of the Jehovah's Witnesses? And I said, as a matter of fact, I do. And I told him the story about our friend Gleiswanderer, and that he sent me all the music. And this guy was absolutely amazed by this, because he himself is also a Jehovah's Witness. And he didn't know that anybody else, certainly not in the village, anyone else in the area, knew anything about this music. So we talked for ages about the wonderful music of these guys. And he sent me, or he gave me a card with some more links to different places where I can find all sorts of things, even newer songs than I have here from Gleiswanderer. So I shall be checking that out. This is fun. Gleiswanderer regularly he picks the gems out of these books for us, and you know how wonderful these hymns are. They're basically film music, but this one here, this looks like dance music. So grab your partners, please, for a Viennese waltz. Actually, no, it's not a Viennese waltz. It's a bit slower than that. Grab your partners, please, for what should we call it? Shall we do a Cayley? Shall we do a St. Bernard's waltz? Ow. No arpeggios tonight, that hurts like hell. Okay, so it's that kind of waltz, okay? Let's see what we can get out of it. This looks fun. A big one?
Ja, ja, ist gut.
Oh, there was a rude word from the background there.
No.
A rude word from the producer. What's wrong? Something wrong?
Nee.
Alles good? Hold on, I shall be back in a second. Sorry, we were just discussing something in the background there. What a wonderful piece of music. I started out as a waltz and I thought it was going to continue as a waltz, but no. See, this is how surprising this music is. It starts out in 3/4 time to dance along to with a beautiful melody, and then it turns into a march. That's brilliant, isn't it? I love it. I love it. Wonderful stuff. Nothing wrong with good music, people. Nothing wrong with good music. Now, talking about good music, let's get into something a little bit jazzy. Now, we had a jazzy request, which was for something I don't think I've ever... heavy books, not good. I don't think I've ever played this in public. So this could be interesting. I have accompanied it, obviously, but I don't think I've ever played it solo. Actually, that's confused. That's good, because there are two pieces here that were requested on the same page. Well, same pages, 2 pages. I think we need to... should we change the registrations here? I think we might need to. Actually, no, we won't. We're going to turn the organ in Alessandria into a big band. A very, very famous jazz band of old was, of course, the original Dixieland Jazz Band. And... I mean, we're talking really old stuff here, 1918. And this piece of music here was written in 1918, so just after or during the end of the First World War, a damn long time ago, well over 100 years ago. And, you know, they had all the wonderful ideas. They got sort of the jazz craze going right at the beginning. Very exciting stuff indeed. And this is a wonderful, an absolutely wonderful old jazz number. And like I say, I used to play this in bands and never played the melody before, which is why I've dug the book out here. I used to play the piano, so there's a oompa, 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 oompa in the background, yeah? Very simple stuff. And the second part of this song is quite famous because of its breaks. There are just notes and then a break, which means a break in the music, yeah? So you play bump, bump, nothing, bump, bump, nothing, and then it carries on, yeah? And it does that for 4 bars, then it repeats itself. And as jazz musicians, of course, we have naughty words for pretty much all songs. So I'm not going to tell you what the naughty words are for this section here, but should any of you out there be traditional or classic jazz fans or performers, you will probably know what I'm talking about. The piece in question is called Fidgety Feet, and it was from, of course, La Rocca and Shields, the wonderful writing team behind one of the first and most famous jazz bands ever. Fidgety Feet. It's fast. Watch out. Fidgety feet. My goodness, I've never played that before. I mustn't play arpeggios tonight. That's going to cause me all sorts of problems. Ooh, fun stuff indeed. There you are, Fidgety Feet, a wonderful request from the wonderful world of classic jazz. Now, while we're on the subject of classic jazz, and we're working towards something quite important here. By the way, we're going to swap around tonight. We're not staying on jazz and then carrying on. I've got all sorts of things to work through here. I've got a march, I've got wedding music, I've got Bach, I've got new music, I've got old music, I've got James Bond music. I've got everything here tonight. So I hope you're going to hang around and join us for the rest of the evening, because it's going to be damn good fun. Piece of music from, I have no idea who wrote it. It's impossible to read. Skrift, is that right? Skrift? Swift, I suppose. Who the hell wrote? These are all handwritten melodies here. An old book. Swift and James, it's called. Those are the composers of this piece of music from 1930. A very famous jazz number. It should sort of be a slowish kind of ballad originally, but we know it as a slightly more up-tempo number. It's called Fine and Dandy. This was requested. Fine and dandy. And I think you'll agree we're all feeling fine and dandy these days. At least we should be. There's no reason why we shouldn't be. Sight reading time. Sight reading time. This was an anonymous. Everything's been pretty much an anonymous request this evening so far. And this was a request that I thought I would never be able to find. Now, it's been in the request pile for a while. And I'm being a bit cheeky when I say it's an anonymous request because I can't actually remember who requested it. But it turned out I had this actual piece of music in my own music collection. It was in the loft. It was in the loft where all my music is. And You all know the composer Walford Davis. Everyone remembers Walford Davis. He composed lots of church music, lots of choir music, some light orchestral music, but he also recorded this rather wonderful piece of march music, which I've never played in my life, and I only found it when digging through the loft for something else. It's the RAF March Past, which is a wonderful, 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 wonderful piece of music composed obviously for the Royal Air Force. We're talking about the British RAF, not the German terrorist group. We're talking about the Royal Air Force. And wonderful piece of music. I can't remember when it was written. Does it tell me? 1922. 1922. What exactly was flying around in 1922? Anyway, so yes, the Royal Air Force had this wonderful piece of music. And I'm not sure if it's being played as part of Her Majesty's Jubilee thingy-bobs, but maybe it will at some point. I don't know. I've never played it in my life. I've only opened it this evening, so let's see if I can sight read it. I think I remember it sort of from listening to it, but let's see if we can work it out. Looks good fun anyway. So it's been arranged for piano in this case by the composer himself, so should be all the right notes. But can I play them in the right order? That's the question. Let's find out. Wow, that's a cute little number, isn't it? Yeah, it's a very quick march past. But yes, I think I shall practice that properly and arrange it properly for the organ. I like that. Thank you very much indeed for that long-standing request. Now, talking of long-standing requests, there's a chap in the audience who absolutely loves and adores music by, or music for, James Bond films. He loves film music in general. And for a long time, he's been requesting a very specific piece of music from a very specific film, which is kind of difficult to track down, but I will get there one day. But however, he requested something much more up my street on Friday? No, actually not on Friday. During our festival, actually, so a couple of weeks back. And we're talking about our friend Steve. And Steve requested this piece of music along with others. And this is one of the most beautiful pieces of music from any James Bond film ever. It's absolutely wonderful. I found the music for it tonight in a very bizarre place. The music, I printed it out and it looks awful. It's sort of taken from some bizarre website. And I hope it's right. I haven't even looked through it. I just printed it out and I hope it's actually in the right order. That would help. Let me just check that. No, it's not, you see. Oh, bugger. Oh, no, there it is. Where does it go from there? Oh, there. Yep, pretty good. Is Graham here tonight?
No.
Graham is not here tonight. This one. Oh, I think Graham's out doing sort of things with family and things like that. But yes, this would be a perfect piece of music for Graham to study for its harmonic language. Okay, the piece of music was it the title music or the closing music to a film on Her Majesty's Secret Service? And it was, of course, that wonderful film that nobody remembers with the James Bond that nobody remembers, but everyone remembers it for this piece of music. The piece of music was sung by Louis Armstrong. And rather sadly, or rather unfortunately, let's say, the title of the song is We Have All the Time in the World. And when Louis Armstrong sung it and recorded it, he died a couple of weeks later. So he didn't have all the time in the world. But hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, we have all the time in the world. And let's see how it sounds on the organ. I wonder if this ever been played on an organ before. This is for our friend Steve Carter. Yeah! We have all the time in the world for Steve Carter. I hope I got that right. I love that song. It's wonderful. It's got, again, harmonies, harmonies, harmonies. It does this. Listen to my left hand. The left hand's got two things going on here. It's got a note that's held. Let me bump that up a bit. Doing a sort of James Bondy thing in the background there. And then you've got the what's the word I'm looking for? The rhythm as well. So we've got this. All that going on the left hand at the same time. And sort of counter melody kind of stuff, harmony. That's the beauty of being able to play the organ. You've got your feet to play the bass. You've got a left hand that does rhythm and counter melodies, and then your right hand is free to do whatever it wants, basically. Back to spatula technique again, I think, yeah. Good fun. Good fun indeed. So how's everyone enjoying themselves this evening? Are you all out and about and having a wonderful May, the merry, merry month of May so far? We are having a very, very wonderful month of May, and we're slowly getting everything shipshape again. Now, it's been a very stressful few, months and weeks, and the last few days have been a bit stressful as well. I think I can say that. Yes, Mrs. G? She's not listening. Okay. Ich habe gesagt, die letzten Tage waren etwas stressig. She says yes, and we're getting over all that now, so that's fine. And what we're going to we are going to be rearranging a number of things here on the channel, and one of those things is going to be our, well, shall we say, our support structure. Now, at the moment, you know, it's absolutely wonderful. We have a Patreon account going, and I am very guilty of not really performing as much on Patreon as I ought to. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be updating our Patreon system and rebooting it, as it were, to make sure that people who do support us via Patreon get more for their money. So bear with us there. Don't go and check it out yet. We will be changing that in the next couple of weeks. Now, everyone who is already a Patreon member will, of course, then suddenly start getting more. And that's the whole point. And we're going to be changing that. Now, here at the moment, we of course have the possibility you can help us out, you can support us through our PayPal link, and Vanessa has very kindly pinned that message at the top there. If you click there, you can donate any amount you so wish to us to help us out. And everything that gets donated to the channel gets pumped back into the channel one way or another. For example, during our festival that came up a couple of weeks ago, we raised money for the new Hauptwerk PC, which is over there and about to be assembled and set up for the wonderful world there. So that helped us towards getting a new PC. So thank you very much indeed for that. And obviously over the next times, we will be reinvesting into things here. We are going to be getting back out and about to visit real organs again. So that's definitely going to be good fun. So more on that when we're back out and about. That's going to be good fun. And then there's always sort of other little things in the background. A lot of people sort of say, what do you do with all that money that we give you? Well, basically, we live from it. This is basically my job. I am a self-employed musician, and this is what I do. I do have a small church job as well. And when I say small church job, that's exactly what it is. It pays peanuts, basically. Every little helps. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, but yes, it's the life of a freelance musician over here, and there's been no real job of which to speak over the past years. I've always been a musician and nothing else. Now, everyone says, but you have a beautiful wife who helps you out as well. That's very true, we do, but Vanessa doesn't work either. Vanessa is a student, a full-time student at the moment, studying to be a teacher. So in a couple of years when she's finished, she will be a fully fledged teacher, which is of course great. And that will definitely be able to help us out a little bit. But it's a one-man show at the moment here. So we are very much indebted, well, not indebted, we're very much grateful to you for all your generous donations. That keeps us going, keeps putting food in our mouth, paying the bills, all that kind of things. Now, I know I don't like saying these things terribly often because we are very, very, very grateful to you for all your generous help in the background. The noise you hear in the background, by the way, is Vanessa eating Smarties. Can I have a Smartie, please? I haven't had any Smarties today. I haven't had any chocolate today. A small selection of Smarties. Look, these are mini Smarties. These aren't even the full-size Smarties. We can't even afford big Smarties. We can only afford baby Smarties. There you see. Oh, apparently they're much tastier, she says in the background. I need chocolate, yes. So anyway, what we're basically saying is thank you very, very much indeed for your help. Thank you for continuing to help us out. It's very much appreciated and very grateful. We're very grateful to you for helping us out. At the moment, we have no sort choking on Smarties, sorry. At the moment, we have no sort of grand projects on the go, but there will in the future, of course, be further projects, and we look forward to sharing those projects with you and giving you some return on investment, as it were, yeah? Giving you something back. That's what it's all about. So I hope that these concerts are giving you something back, giving you some value for your donations, and we are very, very grateful indeed. So thank you very much indeed for that.
Hannes habe gefragt, ob du das mit dem Patreon nochmal auf Deutsch erklären kannst, weil...
Ob ich was, bitte?
Mit dem Patreon das nochmal auf Deutsch erklären kannst.
I've got a Smartie shell stuck in my teeth, hold on. Ah, that's better. Sorry, okay, I'm going to explain what I just explained briefly in German for those who aren't too hot on English. Okay. Hallo, liebe deutsches Publikum, liebes deutsches Publikum. Also, ich habe gerade so ein bisschen erzählt, unser Patreon-System, wir haben ein Patreon-System hinter dem Kanal und ich bin leider nicht der Aktivste bei Patreon. Das mea culpa, ich musste eigentlich deutlich mehr machen für die Leute, die uns dann unter PayPal und so weiter unterstützen. Aber Vanessa und ich, wir arbeiten jetzt zusammen, um das in den nächsten Wochen etwas umzustrukturieren, zu tun. Da werden wir auf jeden Fall viel mehr anbieten für die Leute, die uns da finanziell unterstützen. Man kann da monatlich oder sogar jährlich unterstützen, das ist ganz praktisch. Aber auch das Gleiche hier, die Leute, die uns hier über PayPal helfen, die uns was spenden. Wir sind natürlich sehr, sehr... Nee, du sollst den Patreon noch nicht zeigen. Habe ich doch gerade gesagt, weil wir das umbauen.
Ich höre dir nicht zu.
Sie hört mir nicht zu. Das ist lieb. Ich höre dir immer zu.
Ja.
Ach, der Mann muss immer der Frau zuhören, oder? Muss, ja. Sie hört mir nie zu. Das ist typisch, oder? Naja, so ist das Leben.
Ich bin hier beschäftigt, aber soll ich wieder löschen?
Ja, lösch das mal. Weil, genau, Patreon ist da, aber wir bauen es jetzt um über die nächsten paar Wochen, damit es deutlich besser strukturiert ist und deutlich erstens einfacher für uns und auch besser für euch. Das ist das Wichtigste. So, ja, alles, was wir von euch da reinkriegen, wird wieder in den Kanal reingepumpt. Zum Beispiel unser Festival Donations, das hat uns geholfen, unsere neue PC und Touchscreen und Gedöns zu kaufen, damit das endlich mal stabil hier funktioniert und ich weitere und bessere Orgel spielen kann. Toll. Wir werden bald wieder unterwegs sein, damit wir wieder richtige Orgel aufnehmen können und so weiter und so fort. Und dafür sind wir sehr dankbar, dass ihr uns so unterstützt und hilft. Ohne euch wäre das gar nicht möglich. Ich bin freiberuflicher Musiker. Ich habe zwar einen kleinen Kirchenjob, aber das ist wirklich ein Peanuts-Job, finanziell gesehen. Davon kann man überhaupt nicht leben, also da kommt man noch keine Woche klar, aber so ist das halt in der Kirchenwelt. Vanessa ist ein Vollzeitstudent und verdient gar nichts und so weiter und so fort. Also One-Man-Show und ich hoffe, dass das, was wir für euch anbieten, ich hoffe, dass das aus euch reicht und klar, wenn ihr uns helfen wollt, auch finanziell, ist das immer sehr, sehr dankbar. Immer sehr wertvoll von euch. Dankeschön. So, right, enough chat about cash. I don't like doing that. But from time to time, it's nice to mention it. Sight reading time. Back to the classical world. earlier this evening, again, I love the fact that people sort of come up with spontaneous requests 10 minutes before the concert starts. And our friend and erstwhile surgeon out there in the world, we featured him already on the channel a couple of weeks ago, Alexander Wunderlich. And Alexander sent us a while back, he sent us a video of him playing his cembalo, his harpsichord. Wonderful stuff. And Alexander sent me a piece of music, a request for a piece of music from a composer I've really never played anything by, and I'm just sort of looking at it to sight read it. It looks kind of sight readable, but these things never are, so let's find out. It's a rather beautiful and thankfully slow piece of music by the German composer Josef Reinberger, and it's called Riposo, otherwise known as Abendlied or Evensong. So this is Reinberger's Evensong. Okay, not as easy as it looks once again. Late on a Sunday night is not the time to be sight reading pieces of music. But nonetheless, that was an approximation of Reinberger's Abendlied, or Riposo, or even song. Someone just said, don't I play the top manual jazz? Jazz. Not on this organ. This is a 3-manual organ. 1, 2, 3. See the picture? 1, 2, 3. And I don't need the 4th manual, which is why I have my keyboard placed there. I was saving combinations earlier, so that's why that's there. That's why that's there. Bitte? Oh yes, that's for Herr Huflattisch. Our friend Herr Huflattisch has requested something here that I have no idea what it is. I really have no idea whatsoever. So I don't know. And it's, oh my goodness. Whoa. What is this? Oh my goodness. Oh, I thought this was a normal choir arrangement. It's a choir arrangement for, what the hell is that for? Ooh, okay, this is definitely going to have to know. This is, I'm not sight reading that. Not tonight. Okay, this is, wow. Okay, this is a vocal score for a piece of music. I'm guessing it's film music. It looks rather beautiful, though. That looks rather beautiful. I'll tell you what, we'll do this for Friday night. I shall practice on that for Friday night, okay? Herr Huflattisch has requested something called Caresse sur l'océan. So a caress on the ocean, an ocean caress. That sounds kind of kinky. And it's an arrangement, it's a choir arrangement with a very sparse piano accompaniment. So the melody is not in the accompaniment, so I can't cheat. But I will definitely have a look at it for Friday, I promise. Okay, thank you. That's a promise for Friday. It's a strange choir arrangement, which is, not something I want to be forcing myself to read my way through. Now, is Rodi here tonight? Robert. He's not. Well, this is for him anyway. Rodi has requested a piece of wedding music, believe it or not. And it's the Prince of Denmark's March, as it's called these days. It's the Purcell trumpet. It's a Purcell. Is it Jeremiah Clark? Was it Purcell? Was it? We don't know. We weren't there. And seeing as we haven't invented time travel, we really don't know who it was. But the wonderful thing about this piece of music is I can absolutely beef up the organ to hell and have great fun. So here it is. This is for Rodi. So when you catch us on the repeat, Rodi, this is for you. The Prince of Denmark's March, not the Peter Sellers version. I'm sure some people out there know what I mean when I say that. Okay, here we go. The Prince of Denmark's March there, given their full organ treatment here on Alessandria. And trills with a dud finger are not much fun tonight, so yes, there we are. Now, that was our request for our friend Rodi, which was rather lovely indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been requested. It's been requested, and we love playing it. Now, normally when I play this piece of music, when it's requested, normally I request at least, I don't know, what shall we say? Wie viel soll man heute sagen?
Dass man es nicht spielt.
Damit es nicht spielt, genau, richtig. No, that's not fair. Our friend Colin, and I ignored one of Colin's requests last week, which was a very naughty thing of me to do. I'm very sorry, Colin. And hold on, wrong button, that one. And is it even on here? Yes, it is. Oh, look, there it is. Let me just make sure that that's right. That's that. That's that. That's that. That's what's that? Oh my God! Hold on. It could be right. That's that. No, oh, all right. Let's see if this works. Yeah, that looks right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, don't need that. Okay, so up to number 4. Right. Sorry, talking to myself. Normally when we play this piece of music, normally we say things like, I will only play it if we receive at least 45,000 euros in donations within the next 10 seconds. So obviously that's not going to happen, and that's just a joke, so don't worry about it. But it's one of those pieces. It's like when you go to a jazz club and there's a classic jazz band playing the corner, and you want them to play When the Saints, or you want them to play Ice Cream, or one of those terrible old things that bands hate playing. And you sort of say, yeah, we'll play it for you, but we want at least 250 bucks and a round of drinks each, something like that, something silly like that. So from an organist perspective, the same piece of music, and it's not a terrible piece of music, it's a brilliant piece of music, and I do love playing it. It is, of course, Bach's Toccata and Fugue in D minor. And we always make jokes here on the channel that if you pay me enough, I won't play it. That's what Vanessa just said as well, yeah?
Was? Der sagt keiner, dass du es nicht spielst.
Nee, du hast das gerade gesagt. Du hast das gerade gesagt. Wenn die Leute genug zahlen, muss ich es gar nicht spielen. Als Witz. Als Witz, yeah. As Witz. That's what we did last week. Last time. This was requested sometime recently, and people said, no, don't play that again. But we're going to play it. It's for Colin. And Colin is a young chap over in the United States. Colin loves organ music, and the younger generation need to be encouraged. And I think, Colin, we need to do it for you. So here it is then, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in, I don't know, a couple of months, I think, Bach's T and F in D, number 565. Let's see what it sounds like with a dodgy finger. Yes. Haven't played that for a while, as you may have noticed, and it's all kind of still there. So there you are, Colin. That was a wonderful bash through Bach's Toccata and Fugue in D minor for you. So I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry for the fluffs in the middle, but this is hell tonight, and I'm not having a much fun time of it. But such is life. Such is life. Can't change that. We're going to finish up now, ladies and gentlemen. We have to finish off. I'm going to finish off with a piece of music from the Beatles, if I can find it. It's up here somewhere in the back. And Beatles are, of course, possibly the best band ever to have performed ever. Certainly one of the best bands who ever went to a recording studio to do some recording. And it's no secret that my favourite member of the Beatles was, of course, George Harrison. An absolutely wonderful chap, an all-round good guy. Very sort of esoteric and, into his Hare Krishna stuff. And always on the search for the meaning of life, which he sadly never found. And of course, he left us far too early. Only in his 50s when he left us 21 years ago. Can you believe that? And George composed some of the best Beatles songs out there, including Something and this one, which I'm about to play. And the story behind this one is, there's always an anecdote behind all of these stories, behind all of these songs, sorry. And George Harrison was, of course, very, very good friends with Eric Clapton. So much so that he basically let Eric have his wife. Eric was in love with his wife, and he just said, all right, fine. And George went on and did his own thing, and eventually met his second wife, Olivia, who's, of course, who looked after him for the rest of his life. I think it's the only way we can say that. And but George and Eric used to hang out together on very, very sort of a very regular basis, and performed and wrote and sort of collaborated on a lot of projects together as well. And one of the most famous collaborations they had, at least title-wise, was during an evening session at George's place. Now, George lived in an enormous estate in the middle of Henley-on-Thames near Windsor, near London. Friar Park, it's called. Look it up. It's an enormous Gothic-style castle in the middle of a town, basically. And it's in its own park with its own lake, madness, absolute madness. And Eric used to go and visit him, and they used to sort of sit up all night coming up with musical ideas. I dare say they were up to other stuff as well, but they were doing musical stuff as well. And at some point, it was an all-night session, and Eric is alleged to have said at one point, "Oh, look, here comes the sun." That then, of course, turned into a piece of music and became history. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here tonight. Thank you very, very much for being part of the Gartshore gang on our Sunday night is Organ Music Night concert. We look forward to seeing you again. I will be back at several points throughout the week because I'm going to be putting a PC together and taking you with. We were going to do an unboxing tonight, weren't we? No, too late now. I'll do one tomorrow, I think, then. And we'll show you what's going on there. So yes, do join us during the week. And we'll be back on Friday night for another Friday night as Organ Music Night. I look forward.
Die wollen 542 von Bach haben von dir, ne?
What is that? One day, ladies and gentlemen, one day. All right, folks, have a good week. See you on Friday. Take care of yourselves. Oh, hold on, I need to change my registration. Keep talking. Where does it come from? There it is. We need to go there, and we pop in. I think we'll go from there. That's a good place to start. Have a good week. Have a great start in your new week. Have a happy time. Enjoy the weather. Don't get caught out in the storms. See you soon.